So let's take a tour in our Nexus UI that we just deployed. And there are a couple of main concepts that we're going to go through in the Nexus UI so that we understand how Nexus works and how you can administer it. So first of all, on the welcome page, there is a list of the latest releases. Then we also have the official help documentation. Then if you scroll down, you'll see the list of all the supported repository formats. As I said, there is a paid version and there is a free version. However, in the free version, you already have a lot of supported repository formats. So in most cases, this should actually be enough. And we also have a default user that gets created when we deploy Nexus. It's an admin user. Username is admin, and this is a password, so we can log in. I'm going to click sign in and paste the password in here. And here we see the setup wizard from Nexus, which will prompt us for a new password. So I'll just type something in here. And next, I'll click enable on this option. So now this should complete the initial Nexus setup. And of course, this user has all the rights, so you can create other users that can log into Nexus. However, in a big company with multiple employees, of course, you can do an LDAP integration with Nexus, so you can give access to your employees to Nexus. And once we're logged in as an admin user, we can actually go to the settings or the administration part of Nexus. Because right now, our Nexus is pretty much empty. We don't have everything, so we can see what we can configure here. And on the left side, you have the whole bunch of things that you can configure as an administrator. We have the repository part, which is the main core concept in Nexus, because obviously we're using it to manage our repositories. You have the security part. This is where LDAP integration, creating users, giving them permissions to access Nexus, and so on is happening. Also, securing Nexus connections and so on. And here you have some additional support logging stuff for Nexus application itself. The most important part of Nexus, and this is what we're going to cover and work with in this tutorial, is going to be the repository section. So we're going to go through repositories, different formats and types, how to configure them, how to use them, and so on. We're going to see the blob stores, which is basically the storage for Nexus, where the components are stored, the assets are stored, and how we can actually manage that storage and do backups, etc. And another important one is cleanup policies, which we're also going to cover. This is basically managing that Nexus doesn't just get bloated with loads of different artifacts, which are maybe too old, or you end up with too many artifacts in different repositories. And instead of just manually cleaning up and monitoring all of these, you can actually create and configure the policies to clean up your Nexus regularly. And we're going to see why that is important as well. We can start with the first and the most important part, which is repository management in Nexus.